2021 Cass County Commission meeting to order. Roll call, please, Jeff.
Presiding Commissioner Bob Houston.
Present.
Associate Commissioner District 1, Monty Kisner.
Present.
Associate Commissioner District 2, Ryan Johnson.
Present.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? 3 votes for, 0 against. I need a motion to approve the minutes from August 12th, 2021.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? 3 votes for, 0 against. Number 6, ordinance number 21-03, adopting a procurement policy. I need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
So this brings us in line with the state policy, is that what you call
Yeah,
it?
the law changed, or will change on the 28th. And it used to be 6,000 or up, you had to do the notice and bid, and now it's 12,000.
12,000 and up, okay. Any questions, gentlemen?
Nope.
All in favor of ordinance number 21-03, approving or adopting a procurement policy? 3 votes for, 0 against. Resolution number 21-34, agreement with Gilmore and Bell. Need a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
So this agreement is one we've had with them for several years, and basically they make sure that we fill out the compliance paperwork for all the bond monies for the county for each year, and this is just a renewal of their contract. Any questions?
This is the one that Steve Chesley, treasurer, endorsed and said that he relies upon in a meeting the other day, I believe.
Correct. And Steve is gone today, he's out of town, so it was his recommendation to pass it though.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of resolution number 21-34, agreement with Gilmore and Bell? 3 votes for, 0 against. Okay, number 8, approve of the 2022 holiday and pay dates. I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
So this is just getting our holidays and the pay periods approved and ready to go out for all the officers and department heads for this next year. Any questions, gentlemen?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor of approving the 2022 holiday and pay dates? 3 votes for, 0 against. Number 9, Cass County Collector Chris Muller requesting disbursement of 2020 tax sale surplus monies, certificate of purchase number 20-07, tax sale number 148, taxpayer name Shane Fritz, in the amount of $400.99 payable to Teresa. Have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Chris?
Hi there. This is from last year's tax sale. Teresa Hung purchased this, and obviously she could have claimed a deed 2 days ago, Tuesday. Mr. Fritz got in just under the wire and redeemed. So this is a simple redemption for a little house off 330 Front Street in Pleasant Hill.
Okay. Any questions, gentlemen? Thank you, Chris.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All in favor of redeeming this property? 3 votes for, 0 against. Cass County Health Department contract with Missouri State Department of Health and Senior Services titled Crisis Cooperative Agreement. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Andrew?
So this is essentially another grant, and what it will pay for is more COVID activities, so it'll pay for case investigation, contact follow-up, it'll also pay for vaccination efforts. Hopefully what it will pay for, and we've actually talked about this before here, the agreement never made it to our table until now, but this is the funds that we're still hoping to be able to acquire a 3/4 ton pickup to move that big trailer and to move our supplies and stuff for our different clinics and stuff. So we have to justify the heck out of it to be able to utilize it for that purpose, but hopefully we'll be able to acquire a pickup out of these funds as well.
I think we've moved that trailer more this year than we've. the
Right,
last 2
I
years
mean, and
we have.
that's the thing, is it's either road and bridge or the sheriff's department that is always having to move it, and it's been moved around a lot.
Any questions, John?
Are there any conditions or strings attached, so to speak, to this? I believe it's $156,071 from the State Department of
Just
Health.
really, Commissioner, that we use it for the stated purpose. Other than that, there's really no strings. I mean, we have to bill a certain way and we have to submit it, but those are things we have to do all the time, so no strings more than normal.
I know you need a vehicle to move that trailer, I realize that. I've seen the road and bridge having to come help you and whatnot. It'd be nice to do that in-house, and I had to reach out to other departments, so I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, we had to have them move it like,
Yeah.
literally like 75 feet.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's just and you've all seen the trailer, it's a
yeah.
big dude.
It's a heavy trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Sean? Thank you. Don't leave that, Andrew. I'll probably have you give us an update here down at Miscellaneous on the COVID.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All in favor of approving the contract with Missouri State Department of Health and Senior Services titled the Crisis Cooperative Agreement? 3 votes for, 0 against. Number 11, RFQ for governmental affairs. Need a motion?
So move.
Second.
We'll talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, we had a public work session that the 3 of us participated in the other day, as well as all other office holders. We were only able to make it through 3 interviews via phone, and so we still have a handful left to do. So I would suggest that we table this and revisit this issue until we've had such a time as we can properly vet everyone who has applied for this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So motion would be to table until we get the interviews for the rest of the companies.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
I'll second.
Sorry, thank you. All in favor now?
Now, I'm better,
3 votes for, 0 against. Thank you, Ryan. Number 12, Cass County Sheriff's Office accepting bid and award the bid for tactical equipment, the GT distributors.
So moved.
I'll second.
Don't believe we have anyone here from the Sheriff's Office on this. I was looking at the bid, they put it out for bid, and I believe, the bid on that. And it's replacing, I know some of their tactical equipment has been worn out over the last few years, so.
And this is like for ballistic panels, it looks like, MOLLE vests, magazine pouches, handcuff pouches, ID patches, variety of different things. Protect rail set for helmets. So this is equipment designed to obviously keep our officers and our deputies safe as they execute their mission and their job.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, be hard to deny safety in our law enforcement.
Wouldn't it though?
Yes, yeah, with this day and age.
I'm all for investing in the safety of our deputies and our
Absolutely,
officers.
absolutely.
All in favor of accepting the bid and award to bid for the tactical equipment from GT Distributors? 3 votes for, 0 against. Miscellaneous business? Andrew, do you mind stepping up and commenting a little bit about the COVID in the county right now? Thank you, by the way. And I'll put you on the spot here, so.
So COVID cases continue to rise. I think I've mentioned to you commissioners before that, in June, we really anticipated that things looked like they were winding down. So we got rid of quite a few of our staff that did the case investigation and contact tracing. And so now we're in the midst of trying to, find new people to do those. I mean, they're temporary positions, so the people in those positions, a lot of them just found other jobs knowing that their time was coming to an end. And we had some great people working for us and did a lot of training with them, and they were quite confident. Now we're kind of on round 2 of acquiring a bunch more new, energetic, confident people. That does pose a little bit of a problem just as far as, we don't count the cases until we've actually went through our process to make contact with them to verify that they're actually ours. All the reporting goes to the state first, and then the state gives us the list that they think is ours. So sometimes you'll see numbers that are off at the state level. Well, part of that is, it's mainly because they're just kind of wholesaling it and assuming that if they send it to us, it's ours. Well, a huge portion of those end up being people that just happen to get their medical care in Cass County, and it ends up actually being a Bates County case or a Kansas case or wherever it might be. So the actual numbers we report from here, we vetted those and made sure they're actually our cases. It's all based on county of residence rather than where you got tested.
Nice to know that, because I know the numbers are different from you.
Right,
at some of the
depending on
websites.
where you look, there's quite a bit of variance. But that kind of goes back to my point, which is if we're a little slower getting to them, then our numbers may not be rising quite in real time, right at the moment. So as of last Saturday, our case count was 9,284. And at least as of this morning, we were about 300 cases behind that needed investigating. We've been about that same 300 since you and I spoke last week. So that's a rolling 300. So basically that means we're getting about 100 a day. So right at the moment, we're about 3 days behind.
Okay.
As we get more people on board and trained, we're slowly getting that excess taken care of, but it will probably be another week or two before I am confident that we'll be real time, within 24 hours. We had a new staff member that came and then they quit, and then we've had some other staff members that are still quitting, and so it's just been a challenge trying to get people hired as quickly as possible. Our number of deaths, we were at 92 on Saturday. I know we've had 3 more this week. And again, that's something that is not real time. Those deaths all have to be vetted to make sure that they actually are COVID deaths. I mean, I know there was, particularly early on, a lot of concern and questions where people were saying, they're just calling anyone who died in Cass County a COVID death. Or, there was a lot of kind of misinformation. Well, it has to be listed on the death certificate as one of the major causes of death before we are considering it a COVID death. It's kind of like, why did he die? Well, his heart stopped beating. Well, was that really a cardiac issue? No, it wasn't. His heart stopped beating because, his leg got cut off and he bled out. It's one of those things. Why did he die? He quit breathing. Well, so breathing, COVID, no, not necessarily. That's not necessarily what happened. So I think everyone knows that the Pfizer vaccine is now officially licensed for 16 and up. And we also have started giving vaccinations for, it's actually not a booster dose, it is a 3rd dose for those who are immunocompromised. And so the number of vaccines that we have started doing down on Commercial Street at our kind of extended, our annex, I guess, we haven't really seen a lot of increase in appointments. What we've started seeing is quite a bit of an increase in walk-ins. I think we did like 60 or 70 shots yesterday. So
walk-in vaccines,
yes.
not walk-in tests.
No, our testing has changed. I think We had talked about this, we were doing the rapid test on just everybody, because at one point,
Testing in-house.
right, because at one point, there wasn't
A
that much demand.
PCR test in-house.
Right,
Did that change?
it has changed.
Can you explain?
We are now doing testing through a drive-through type thing on Mondays and Thursdays from 8 to 10. People can sign up online
Right.
on the website.
Yep. I knew about that.
And the main thing about that is if we have 200 people that want to get tested in those 2 hours, we can handle that.
Can?
Can.
Okay. 200 in an hour you can handle.
200 in 2 hours,
You
so
can
100
handle.
an hour we
Okay.
can handle.
More than that though?
More than that, we'll have to expand the hours, but right now I
So you're
think,
still doing the same testing mechanism, which is the in-house PCR?
no,
or
we're
you're shipping
sending
it off now?
We're sending it off.
Where's it going now?
KU.
Okay. Does the KU, does University of Kansas Medical Center, do they also test as to whether or not the patient has the Delta variant or any other kind of variant, or is it just your traditional PCR test?
Right, they are not doing that genotyping, it is just positive or negative for COVID.
And so the Delta variant tracking is still based on like, sewage and wastewater?
The
Yeah,
sewer
through the
shed
state?
and
Yeah.
then whatever the state pulls and samples, it's kind of just random.
Okay.
But
You said Pfizer, you talking about the FDA approval,
Full approval, yes.
16 and up. Does that change your vaccination policy? Does it mean you shift from 12 years old and up to 16 and up based on the FDA approval, or are you still doing 12 and up?
We're still doing all the other EUA qualified vaccinations, so we're still doing 12 and up.
With
And we're
Pfizer
also
only.
still doing that third dose, that is not under the full licensure, that's under an EUA also.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So is your refrigerator full of the Pfizer? I mean, how are you doing on vaccine?
We were clearly doing many more vaccinations, back in February and March, Commissioner. So our vaccine supply is steady. We've had zero issue.
Good.
I will tell you the main thing that we are able to do is we are able to hold it and store it since we bought that ultra cold freezer. And that ends up being just a terrific investment because we have
Good.
other health departments like Platte County.
Mm-hmm.
We're holding their stuff for them.
Are you really?
Yes, and they're having to drive. I mean, if you know where roughly the airport to here to get vaccine when they need.
Why wouldn't they
So-
use some of the COVID money to buy one of those? It wasn't that expensive.
So
You gave it away.
they could have found funds, but they also did not get any CARES Act funding through their commission.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they're overseen by an elected board of health and the commission, and I mean, I don't want to get into it, but they did not see any CARES Act funding.
Okay.
It's an unfortunate model. Fortunate for us, though. No, I just wanted to commend you and your staff. You guys are doing a very good job. I know both when I've been tested with you all as well as when I received the vaccine that you all were, above board, very professional, very helpful. It was very easy in both instances. And I know your staff is working very hard, and I appreciate all the hard work that you're doing and the respect that you also demonstrate for the privacy of our citizens who come to be serviced by you. So thank you for all your hard work and to your department.
Well, thank you. I do have to say it's, my staff that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd say that too, Andrew.
What's that?
Yeah,
We'd say that too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we're giving them all the credit.
Thank you, Andrew.
And I have received on the street, same compliment, just hats off to you and your staff for what you guys are doing.
I mean, I have a lot of great hard workers who care
Yeah.
a lot, and that really shows in their day-to-day. So
Absolutely.
Pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you, Andrew. Any other miscellaneous business? Chris Muller.
Hello again, Commissioners. I want to enter that into the official record, Jeff.
Okay.
Pursuant to Chapter 140, I do need to give a report to the Commission on the tax sale, which we held here Monday. I want to thank Steve Cheslick for being a spotter and Jeff Fletcher for being a spotter. It got very warm.
Mhm.
Very, very, very warm, but it was a good sale. So here is my report. 40 properties were offered. They broke down this way. 36 were first-time offerings, 3 were second offerings, 1 was a third offering, meaning that I'd offered it 2 prior years and nobody wanted to buy it. So what happened is 30 of the 40 were sold. I've given Jeff a list of the 9 bidders that bought the 30 properties. The vast majority of the sale was purchased by Teresa Hone, a private real estate investor in Kansas City. The rest were local folks. But 30 parcels sold, 9 did not sell. They will go back up on the sale next year if their back taxes aren't caught up. 1 was transferred to David Kaufeld and Untitled. That would be the third offering. The total tax sale proceeds collected was $200,062.29, and $127,149.64 will go to Steve Cheslick. Surplus funds, for lack of a better word, the escrow of the over and above that was bid. The county collected for ourselves as well as taxing entities around the county $69,869.89 in back real estate taxes and interest. So it was a pretty good sale to run 40 properties up there in 47 minutes, I think it was. We moved pretty quickly. So that report is for the official record, and if anybody needs extra copies, let me know. Second item, postage is going up next week, and my office, of course, is affected by that pretty dramatically. In April, we did our delinquent personal property mailing as just a postcard to cut that down to 26 cents. We did a QR code, try to introduce a little technology. We did a QR code on the card in lieu of an envelope. We saved thousands and thousands of dollars. And now we're going to get hit again with a rate increase next week. So here's what I'm going to do proactively. The U.S. Postal Service has a program called Informed Delivery, where people enroll in an email program. They receive an email each day alerting them that mail has been delivered and with pictures or images of the mail. The Postal Service will give me a 2% break on my postage if I enroll in a pilot program that adds an additional image or message from Cass County, either pay now, or reminding them to pay their bill, or letting them know there are certain hours of operation. It's a marketing plan to get more people to do informed consent, the informed delivery service. And so I've enrolled in that. My mail house is a preferred vendor with USPS, and so we're going to at least save 2% on all of our postage that goes out of his mail house this fall. You'll notice when we get to budget time next month, I had to raise my postage budget pretty substantially. So we're looking for now ways to integrate email billing, and my new mail house does that. Also QR code building, we're trying to figure out a way to get rid of the paper, cut down the postage. It's just eating me alive. Statutes are kind of behind the times, but I think my new vendors now can maybe start to look at a way we can take the emails from the assessor's office, give taxpayers the option to opt into an email or text message bill, and then send that electronically.
That'd be good.
So
That'd be really good.
I'm trying to be proactive. A third item, we discussed 3 or 4 months ago, we went out to bid for credit card processing services. You all awarded that bid. When we got the technical teams together, we recognized that their, how do I want to say it? Their platform was so completely different than our current vendor that I would have to hire a team of outside programmers that would cost the county a lot of money. And so I went ahead and terminated the contract. But before I did, I went to the current vendor and I asked them if they would lower the charges. They have agreed to lower the charges. It will be effective next week, September 1st, for all MasterCard, debit, and then Visa, Discover, American Express, and MasterCard credit. So we're going from 2.4 to 2.3, I believe, is what we've got negotiated. It's not a big relief, but it's some. They are meeting our demands to change some of the reporting that we get electronically each night for the internet payments, and also our ability to more quickly refund the taxpayer in the event that the county, that my office makes a mistake and we bill somebody incorrectly, or there's nothing malicious but an honest mistake. We've now got the ability to do an instant credit card refund. That technology is being installed in our computer system right now. So all in all, that's worked out actually really pretty well. So those are the 3 updates from my office.
Any questions? Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
You're probably ready for a day off, aren't you?
It's been a week.
Any other miscellaneous business? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
I had one more question for Director Andrew Warland. So recently, I've heard from some constituents who were saying that the Ray-Pec School District, specifically the superintendent and the Board of Education, pulled a bait and switch, meaning the week before they had voted to be mask optional. Now several parents are up in arms, I believe rightfully so, because of a last minute change in policy where they called an emergency meeting, I believe it was last Friday, and then they voted for a mask mandate. A lot of parents, I think, felt taken by surprise with little to no warning. And so there's been a lot of constituent contact, rightfully so, asking after us, also pointing fingers at the county, specifically talking about the quarantine policy, I believe that they're suggesting. Was there the reason or the rationale for that? I was hoping that maybe you could kind of explain the health department's role in that, and or if there was any health department role in that decision
So there's
in terms of the quarantine policy and their reason that they're now mandating their students to wear masks.
So the quarantine and isolation policy has not changed at all, and that is something that is enforced by the health department.
Right.
So if you are exposed to a COVID case, which is basically contact within 6 feet for over 15 minutes within a 24-hour period, you need to be on quarantine. There are some exceptions to that.
I've been quarantined by you, so I.
Right. Personal experience, very helpful.
Right, yeah.
Makes it very relevant. So, but in a school setting, in a classroom setting, if both parties are wearing a mask and you are further than 3 feet, 3 to 6 feet, you don't need to quarantine. And if you're within 0 to 3 feet, you would only you'd need to quarantine outside of school, but you could still come to school as long as you're wearing a mask. That hasn't changed. What's really changed from the spring to now is that in the spring, almost all the schools had mask policies. They were universally masking, and so there were a lot fewer quarantines. We've been in school really for this 3 or 4 days. Pretty much everybody has been in school, and we're seeing quarantine rates go through the roof because we're having a lot of those exposures and no one's really wearing masks in schools.
Most are, I think, are mask optional right now, with the exception of Ray-Pec.
Ray-Pec, right.
Are they the only school district locally that have issued a mask mandate?
To my knowledge, yes. You know, that may
Have you heard from Raymore parents or citizens complaining about that mask mandate, or no?
I've mainly been hearing complaints about the quarantining.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I've been hearing complaints about, is that so many more kids are on quarantine than they were last year. And that is going to be, just from the logistics of how that's going to work, that's going to be the case.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Andrew. Any public comment? Seeing no public comment. Commissioner Communications? I will throw out there, the Road and Bridge guys have been, they've been tearing it up right now.
Great work out
They're
there.
doing a great job. I know they've done more miles in this last 2 weeks than we've done in several years combined, Monty. I think you would agree.
Yeah, this is our first year doing our actual in-house chip and sealing, and hats off to them. There's no experience out there. They're all jumping into this green we got the companies coming in and educating them on how to run the equipment and how to set stuff up, and And I tell you, they just took a hold of it and just doing a knockout job. Again, we're in the beginning stages of our in-house program, but they're doing a good job.
I found that interesting when you said that for the first time, I think in 20 years,
It's been a long time since we've had our own.
Cass County's road and bridge in-house capability is chipping and sealing roads
Yeah.
rather than going out to contract
Yeah.
through contractor, which is,
Yeah,
as you said, saves the taxpayer money.
absolutely, because we're not waiting on our contractors, we can get on our job and get it done and go into other stuff. So we're, chip and sealing is a seasonal project, so we pull all of our men in together, and then we get the chip seals done, and then we'll fall back off to do our regular maintenance, and, with the staff we got, that's all we can do. So that, hats off to our group down there and our men that are working, just doing a good job.
Yeah, more roads chipped and sealed, more mileage chipped and sealed for a better
Yeah.
cost to the taxpayer.
Absolutely.
And better service.
And
Plus,
saying
they're,
that-
they're, they're working really hard in this heat right now.
Absolutely, and to say that, it's not like we're doing new chip and seal, this is a program we put in place, it's putting our old chip and seals back to new condition. We've never had this program before, this is what we're implementing.
And the other thing, road and bridge, is accident days free. How many,
Last I checked was 310, I thought that was 10 days ago.
which is
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
really done good for the accident. With the
Yeah,
work
I know.
we're doing.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah,
That's
thank
put
you.
somewhere
Yeah.
knock on there.
You're out, that's another thing they're really doing good.
Any other commissioner communications? Okay, we are gonna go into executive session under RSMO sections 610.021.1 legal, 610.021.2 real estate, and 610.021.3 personnel actions. After we come out of the executive meeting, we will just adjourn the regular session. So I'll need a roll call to go into executive session, Jay?
Presiding Commissioner Bob Houston.
Yes.
Associate Commissioner District 1, Monty Kisner.
Yes.
Associate District Commissioner District 2, Ryan Johnson.
Yes.
I didn't get a motion or a second. Motion and a second first.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Do I have a motion to go into executive session? Yeah,
So moved.
Gotta get this damn right.
I'll second.
I figured as much.